Hey guys, quick recap on return of investment. So what you're seeing on screen here is a very simple return on investment calculator, which I'm going to show you guys how to build in class. What we need to remember is the formula for ROI is a total net profit. So this is your profit after you've taken out everything else, divided by your total investment. This is how much you paid for the campaign, and then multiply that by 100. So how this is worked out, we have two parts: an advertising campaign cost. This is how much the actual ad spend was. You can see I've placed in here that maybe I'm doing Facebook mobile ads, Instagram ads, and Google ads across 31 days of a campaign. There's one each that is being posted, and it has a daily budget of $20 each. So that gives me a total cost of $620 per ad across these channels, which gives me a total ad spend of $1,860. Then we've got to go, well, how much has it cost us to create this ad? So I have a designer that needed to be involved. Well, two of them, in fact, gave me 4 hours worth of work, and you just keep adding up how much things cost. And so these 3 ads ended up costing me in personnel cost $1,275. So then we have to know how much our total gross profit was. How much did we sell? And for the sake of what I'm doing here, I'm going to say that I sold $5,000 worth of product. That $5,000 worth of product cost me $3,135. That is your advertising campaign cost plus your personnel cost. Gets me $3,135. So the net profit is $5,000, which is my gross profit. This is how much I made, minus my advertising campaign cost and my personnel cost, gave me a total net profit of $1,865. So once you run it through the calculator of total net profit of $1,865 divided by the total investment of $3,135 gives you your ROI. So I'm going to say I have a total net profit of $1,865, and I'm going to divide that by my total investment, which was $3,135, and then I'm going to multiply that by 100 to give me my ROI percentage. You can see it becomes 59.49. You can see 59.49 down there. That is the easiest way to calculate ROI, is using a calculator very similar to what I have here. It is all just sums. So you can see everything is just multiplied. If I change anything here, let's say this campaign is for 62 days, and I just type in 62 here, you'll see everything start to change. Let's say my total budget was $40 a day. And you can see the ROI changing the whole time as we start getting pretty close to our profit there. If my profit was $10,000, you'll see the ROI change again. So the sums that I'm using is just basic Excel multiplication sums. So you can see my fields at the top here, just keep an eye on those. Days of the campaign doesn't have a calculation. The unit and measurement doesn't have a calculation. The daily budget doesn't have a calculation. The only one that does have a calculation is the total cost, which is D13 multiplied by F13. So F13 is my daily budget, and D13 is my days of the campaign. Now, if I needed to have more than one ad, I would put a recalculation in that then multiplies this result by 2. So up here, this would become equals the sum of D13, F13, and then multiplied by E13. And so now when I change my unit, you'll see it multiplies through there as well. So I always use the equals sum to show Excel that it's a calculator, then a bracket, and that allows me to then go through and make my calculations. And then once you're finished with your calculations, so equals sum of C13, and then we're going to say multiply by D13, close bracket, press enter, and that gives you your calculation. But because I've chosen one that doesn't actually exist, that's why it's done that. C13, let's make that completely different. Let's say equals sum of and we'll say D13, multiply that by F13, close bracket, press enter. So that's the calculation that I use. You can then also copy that calculation and paste it underneath, and it will then take the next row as its calculation. So all of these, even though they're the same here, because I've just copy and paste it, I can then go in and say different figures here. Multiplying across, adding things like these two sections here, same again, equals sum of, and then we've got G16, and then plus, and this is just arrow keys to move these around, and G26, close bracket, press enter. That gives you your total cost across your advertising campaign and your personnel. And so once again, the calculation, total net profit, you're going to go for equals sum of, and you're going to say total net profit divided by, which is just the / the total investment, close the bracket, multiply that by 100. And that gives you your return on investment. And so this is part of an ROI framework. This is what you would show as either a projected potential income or an actual income. So for the sake of assessment here, you're going to go, I project that this is going to generate X amount of sales. So in this case, I've put 5,000 in there. You would normally go through lifetime acquisitions and cost per acquisitions to get a projection on this, but we don't need to do that for the sake of this assessment.